How's Mike Harley doing? We saw him out there today.
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah, he's good to go. Good to go. He's doing good.
What did you feel like you learned about your group from game one here?
Well, I hope they build a little confidence. Alabama is a team that, it's one of the best there is. So when you go and you get, as we say in the coaching business, you get your oil check, you kind of see where you're at. And I hope guys like X-Man and Keyshawn gain some confidence, knowing that, they can catch balls, they can get open down the field, they can get on the other side of really good people. So that's what we gained out of it.
When you guys broke down the film and got through the whole game, how would you summarize the overall feeling of the coaches when you look at the big picture of the game?
Yeah, competed well, and then we just got to clean up a bunch of details. That's a tough opponent in your first game. It's very tough because you can get the feeling that just all of your base stuff is going to be, it's going to be hard to just run your flat-out base stuff against them because of the type of players and athletes that they have. So you feel like you got to do some scheming when you play in teams like that. And so when you have a little bit more scheme, you have more details. And so that was the big thing was, we just got to clean up a lot of detailed stuff.
And is that kind of like, just to follow what you're saying, because I see what you're saying, and did maybe because of that and because of the extra stuff that was put into the game plan to deal with an opponent of this level, did that trip you guys up a little bit to where, maybe things weren't as polished in those plays as you would have liked?
A little, like I said, first of all, the first game's tough anyway. This will be my, I don't know, what was it, my 31st or something, first game. And, a lot of times I hate watching the film after the first game because I already know what it's going to look like. You're going to get a bunch of guys doing some things a little out of character in the first game just because it's the first game. Then when you have a game that's on national TV and you're going against that type of opponent, even more players have a tendency to kind of get outside the framework a little bit and play with a little bit more of emotion than they normally would. And so that could contribute to not being a little more detail-oriented like you want to be. So hopefully from this week to this, first week to this next week, we're going to get those things cleaned up.
We didn't see a lot of deep balls in the game. I was just curious, were the receivers getting open enough?
I think that we ran some. I think, we had the one, the sack. We had one, I don't know if you remember D. Wiggins getting on the other side of some guys. There were several intended deep balls. I'll say that. So there were several called and intended. Just some things happened where we just didn't get it down the field.
Overall, you like the separation in general with the group? Did they get enough separation?
I thought for who we were playing and being in the first game, like I said, you have a tendency to lose your details in the first game, with my experience watching guys, especially at the receiver position, they turn their heads too early instead of really trying to work on restacking a guy, little things like that. They quicken everything up. Their routes are always shorter in the first game than what they're supposed to be, so it doesn't look like you appear to push the defense down the field. Let's suppose you have a 20-yard comeback, you may run it at 12. And so things like that may have contributed, but we did have some deep balls called. For sure.
I wanted to ask you about Keyshawn and Charleston, just kind of first games, starting, and just curious.
Yeah, I was proud of Keyshawn, especially proud that outstretched hands across the middle of the field on that fourth down. That's a tough catch right in the triangle of three defenders and stuck his arms out without any flinch or whatever and caught the ball and then stuck his foot in the ground and tried to get upfield. So that was really good to see. I think, Charleston just got to constantly with him. Fast guys have a tendency to just believe I can just outrun everybody. And so when they you get into college, especially guys that are really, really fast in high school, they get here and they think they can just run. There's so much to running a deep ball. I could give a 50-minute dissertation on how to run a deep ball properly. You have to do all kinds of details, restacking. There's a certain point in time down the field when you turn your head back to the quarterback. You can't do it too early. You can't do it too late. And so, what I saw out of him is those details. Just some of them not showing up, and they will as the season goes on. I know that from experience.
Restrepo, what did you see in him? Just one more year
What
experience.
I've seen of him every single time we've ever scrimmaged and played real football. That man is he's a football player. He shows up every time that we put the ball down and we play football. He always finds a way to score a touchdown, it seems like. So I kind of knew he was gonna. He's gonna make plays. He's gonna be open. And he's gonna fight his butt off. He's gonna dive for balls. He's gonna do everything it takes. He's a natural guy inside. He has a good feel for defenses. He's really smart. So I kind of wasn't surprised that he kind of had a good game.
Your freshman, obviously you don't starting
Yeah.
playing in the game against Alabama
Yeah.
is one thing, but you've heard so much about them. Are they close, would you say, to maybe getting into the rotation? And have any one of them in particular edged ahead of the group?
I think they're definitely a lot closer. You saw, Romello has shown some great flashes that he is a guy that when the ball's in the air, I like X, you kind of know what's going to happen. I feel the same way about Romello. The thing is about playing freshmen is playing wide receiver, you can't just line up there and say, get open, then you throw them a There's so many things that goes involved in kind of not putting the quarterback in a bad situation, because as a quarterback, you got a bunch of guys coming at you just trying to kill you, right? And so you drop back, you expect a picture out there to be exactly like it is in practice every single time. With 4 different guys doing it, it's all got to look the same. And so when he gets back there and then it changes on him, it makes the quarterback flinch. And that's where we're at right now with the freshmen. We got to make sure that we're taking care of our quarterback by doing everything right so we don't make that quarterback flinch and all that stuff. And they're getting closer. And I think that you're going to see that here soon.
Last question for Coach Mike.
Yep.
Was there anything from Saturday against Alabama, in the moment it may not feel as great, when you watch the film, you're like, hey, that's actually a lot better than you felt like, and I guess that you can kind of carry over to against App State?
Yeah, I saw some guys, competing, and feeling like they belong, and they belonged on that stage, which they should. So I saw that. I was proud of them. Like I said, Keyshawn, X, not intimidated, not coming back to the sideline. X, every time he came back to the sideline, Coach, I got him on this. I can beat him on this. I got him on this. It wasn't a surprise, and so I saw that with several of my guys I was proud of.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.